What's up folks, hope you're doing well. Now I'm coming at you today with a second video on ARKFI. Now I did a video on them previously, but that was before the whitelist presale. I did cover how the platform operates and how everything is tied together in a very cool structure. Now ever since then, so the whitelist presale was a success, and then two public raises happened. The second one happened today. The first one filled out in about 2-3 minutes. The second one in about 4 minutes if I'm not mistaken. And both were very successful. So we still have one more, as you can see here on the homepage. And after that, we're gonna launch, I think, on the 2nd of December. Now, with that being said, I wanna go over the changes that they implemented ever since I covered this. And also, I'm gonna talk about a few strategies and just a few takeaways for people to understand in regards to how to, I don't know, go about their strategies, or basically how to try and keep that 2% as long as they can, even if they don't have the perks of extra money to bond or the money to buy an NFT. So don't go anywhere. Alright, so let's go over the changes that ARK has made ever since I covered this. And I'm just gonna try also to explain them very easily. So first things first, the maximum payout remains at 80,000 tokens, but they changed a bit the way to get there. So previously it used to be 2.9x of your deposits, but now it's 3x, so 300% instead of 290%. And reason for that being, they decided to make it easier because as you compound further, your CWR UI warnings are given. So to make the user experience friendly and easier towards the end of your journey, they decided to bump up the percentage in regards to the maximum payout, but the number of tokens still remains the same, but the way to get there is a bit quicker at the end of the day. So second thing, maybe you know this information already, but I decided to mention it because it's a bit blur. So you know that in order to benefit from referral rewards, you'd need to either have an ARKBUSD bond, a certain amount of that, or a legacy NFT, silver, platinum, gold. So in order to benefit from level 1 referral, that's 250 bonds or a silver NFT. Now the further you go towards level 15, so from 2 to 15, means you need to have more in bonds, and your legacy NFT needs to be of a higher tier. Now the exact calculations are going to be revealed a bit later. And speaking of the round robin system, so the 15 level system, so it is a straight line, so a bit different than your usual round robin. It's literally a 15 level straight line. It doesn't reset if you have no one above you, but it does count 15 times. So what this means essentially is that your upline, your direct upline, will benefit once from 5% compound every 15 times. So if level 2 up until 15 do not have the perks to benefit from that 5% that you compounded, all of this money, or all of this ARK essentially, is going to go to the Guardian wallet. The Guardian wallet is the top tier wallet. It's going to help with tax vault, and it's also going to be aiding other stuff as well, and external pools that will also be embedded inside the ecosystem. Speaking of, this is something that they recently added. There's going to be an SP ARK rewards pool also in addition. So all of these things that you see here have been amended in the white paper, by the way. So this SP ARK rewards pool is gonna take every day 50% of all the ARK that were sent to the Guardian wallet through compounding from the pool of investors in the ecosystem. And then there's gonna be a bunch of wallets randomly selected, and from these wallets a bunch of people will benefit from this pool percentage wise. Of course, I assume based on how much ARK they hold, because if you want to be one of those lucky people or one of those lucky winners, you need to 1, be in the ARK vault, and 2, hold either $250 in bonds or own a legacy NFT, whatever that is. So this is a cool extra incentive. And plus, additionally, the interesting thing is that if you are a winner of these extra ARK tokens, they will be added to your deposit section as a referral reward, meaning it'll be added to your net deposit value, which is something that everyone is chasing, and I'm gonna talk about this in the second part of this video. I also want to reference a few things from the white paper because they also did a remodeling of the tax flow. Now, I didn't add this in my illustration because they did such a good job as labeling everything out. I would just be replicating this. So just a few changes. Your deposit tax is now 8%, your buy tax is 5%, and the split is literally in front of you. So when you deposit, the upline still gets 5%, and the rest goes to the ARK Vault. But your buy tax benefits the NFT rewards pool, the treasury, and the liquidity controller, which is something similar to a liquidity management system, so LMS, but it's specific to ARK, and they're going to be using this to keep the price within a certain range and also keep that buy pressure coming in whenever there's a downtime until they get their external revenue sources in check. Now, with that being said, the compounding tax is still 10%, and it still goes to the upline and the ARK Vault, and the withdrawal tax, meaning when you claim, it all goes to the tax vault. Now, I want to touch base perhaps on the most important thing, in my opinion, in regards to how can you keep that 2% in check, all right? Even if you don't own any legacy NFT, that's one, or if you don't decide to basically purchase any bonds to benefit from referral rewards to increase your net deposit value. Now, I did lay out this framework right here, so the top part, so from row 1 to row 15 previously, but I did amend it a bit because I didn't take into account the post-tax claimable rewards. I did just put the claimable rewards, and that's why in my calculations it bumped a bit more to in 72 to 73 days. If you have no legacy NFT with a CWR strategy of 8 to 6, so you compound 8 days, you claim 6 days, a total of 14 days, and then it resets. If you're not familiar with these, again, if some of these terms like CWR, legacy NFT, NDV, whatever, is a bit unclear, and all of these terms are weird, look and sound weird to you, refer to my previous video, please do so. It has all the information. So yeah, it's essentially when you compound for 8 days, you claim for 6 because you have to. A CWR of 1.5, so 8 to 6, triggers UI warnings if you are about to exceed it, so to compound more than 8 times, so 8 days, per week, and if you wanna, do a more aggressive compounding schedule. You cannot do that unless you purchase a legacy NFT. Now, how you can increase your NDV and keep that 2%? So of course you have the simple option of if you're a team builder, you're gonna add more people to your wallet, and then you're gonna increase your NDV and keep that 2% going longer. Or you can also purchase a legacy NFT, and by doing so, you're gonna be basically have the opportunity to compound more than claim. And by doing that, with claiming less, you're gonna be basically delaying your NDV going to 0 because you're gonna be claiming less than compounding, right? Meaning your NDV will not decrease as frequently as it would have without any legacy NFT. That's 2. And also by purchasing a legacy NFT actually, or by owning a bond to benefit from referral rewards, you're gonna also enter the SPARK pool, their SPARK pool, that I mentioned previously at the beginning of the video, and perhaps be one of the lucky winners of those ARK tokens from the Guardian wallet. They're gonna be added to you as a referral bonus and increase your NDV as return. So purchasing a legacy NFT, if you don't want to be a team builder, will also benefit you in that regard if you are one of the lucky winners, of course. That's one, and your CWR strategy will also shift to a less aggressive one from a claiming perspective and a more aggressive one from a compounding perspective. Now there's a third option actually that you can employ as well, and that is if you don't own and if you don't want to get involved in the NFT part nor into the bond part, you can actually claim and redeposit. So let me reiterate on this note right here, and I'm gonna just touch base on these values that I provided. So I just literally took the same example as above, so 100 tokens in after tax, and those are the amounts. Those are the amounts here to be claimed based on this schedule of 8 to 6. Okay, every 14 days. So by following this strat, first of all, I am to claim 14 tokens after 14 days of doing 8 to 6. 8 and 6. That those 14 tokens are to be taxed 10%, and then I will end up having 12.65 tokens in my wallet. Now if I do compound, I'm gonna add this, you know, without the 10% of course, so this amount will be added to my deposit section, and that 10% compound will be split to the upline and to the ARK vault. All right, now once I have those amounts, those tokens, this amount claimed, so sitting in my wallet, I can choose to redeposit them. By doing so, I incur a tax of 8%, so I end up adding that much, 11.64 versus 12.65. Now, how my NDV reacted in regards to my action. So first, it did remove the tokens that I claimed literally post-tax. It did remove them from my NDV, right? Because I claimed them. And if you remember the formula, the simple formula, NDV is literally my post-tax deposit plus my post-tax referrals minus my post-tax claimable dividends. So I claimed my dividends, it removed them from my NDV, but I redeposited 11.64 tokens, and then my NDV was replenished by those tokens, correct? At the end of the day, what I lost in my NDV from 100 to 98.9, or sorry, almost 99, that token 0.02, I lost based on the tax difference claimed versus deposit. All right, and if you keep doing that, so if I do that, so if I claim and redeposit instead of just compound, so based on those numbers, if I scroll a bit to the right, you can see that's the amount of time that would take me to go back to that 1% if I'm just compounding. So taking these numbers into consideration, by the time I follow the claim / redeposit play, I end up with a 91.88 NDV versus just compounding, where I end up with a negative NDV. So at that point in time, by following this strat, I still get 2%, otherwise I would drop to 1%. Now the only caveat, which is something that is meaningless in my opinion, is that instead of adding 101 tokens to your deposit section, you're going to be adding essentially 93.33 tokens to your deposit section and forfeiting 8.11 tokens because of the tax difference of claiming and depositing. But in my opinion, this is nothing but a very small price to pay to keep that 2% as long as you can, in this sense, because you're going to prolong it a lot. And because you're earning 2% a day instead of 1% after that, you're going to be adding more tokens to your deposit section, much more than that 8. You're going to make up that 8 and go above that, versus if you're just compounding at 1% afterwards. Not only you are benefiting yourself by following this strat, but keep in mind that you are being taxed twice. Now granted, you're paying twice the gas fees by claiming and depositing, but gas fees are very cheap on BSC. I don't think how is that gonna be basically a caveat for you not earning that 2% in the future, which will potentially earn you more as you progress in a shorter period of time versus if you went through with that 1%. So by claiming, you're gonna be adding to the tax vault plus ARK vault plus upline rewards because you're depositing, versus just compounding, you're gonna be giving to the ARK vault and to the upline reward. So there's an added value, an added benefit from following this strat, not only for you, but for the protocol itself and from its longevity. So I hope that the team will add this button, this redeposit button, that will be available next to the compound button. And I don't see why most people, or at least the people who don't want to get involved into the NFT part and the bond part, wouldn't want to employ this strategy, because I don't see any major downside. I don't know if you do, but I will personally be following that. Alright, that's it from me today. Thank you for sticking around and listening to everything I had to say. Now I really hope I brought you some value with this. I hope that I showed you not only the updates, and I wanted to do this actually and push this before the third raise as well as before public launch. So I also wanted to show you again not only the updates, but also perhaps a different outlook, a different take in regards to something that you can employ as a strategy. Perhaps, of course, you thought about this before, but maybe not the long-term implications of what could happen if you actually employ this, and what are the numbers and how can they look like if you go through with this. Maybe the idea itself wasn't so appealing, but once you put numbers on paper, you're gonna get a better picture and perhaps the idea becomes more attractive. So with that being said, a sub to the channel would be amazing. It really gives us new kids around the block more motivation to keep pushing this content, better it, add value to it, and expose this word we love the most to more people. So I thank you and appreciate you in advance for doing so. And if you like this video and whatever else I put on the channel, be sure to leave a like if you honestly like it, just not for the sake of liking in general. And if you have some comments, if you have some criticism, if you just want to open a conversation, just slide into the comments or on Telegram. I welcome criticism with open arms, and I'm always happy to reply. And I do reply actually to everyone that makes a comment or wants to just have a, you know, chill conversation. And we also have a Telegram room, room if you honestly want to have like a chill conversation outside of the noise, because it can get a bit noisy, you know, in those main rooms. So links below to all of that good stuff. Don't be shy, just join us. And as always, take care of your finances and trade responsibly. This was Roy with DeFi Ascension. Thanks for watching.